It's the Date Master. We're back. It's Friday. As I sip my green tea, you know, we're gonna talk about this. This simp word, and even if you say it on YouTube, they ban you. They shadow ban. They do a lot of things to shut down and mute masculine talking points that holds the people accountable, in which fuel their agenda. But what I noticed, if you guys been paying attention to the recent news, you see the Shakara champion situation. And I don't want to really talk to that a lot, but I am gonna touch on it just briefly. As I've been seeing, on social media, people, spoke about it, saying it was a dumb move, and they got their own critiques. And what I noticed was that women coming to the aid of Shakari Champion after she took accountability for her actions. She did do that. I must, you know, tip my hat to her. She'll be back. She just made a mistake. Whatever the excuse is, she made the mistake, and she should be chastised. I would say a little bit more critically because of the opportunities that were in front of her or at her fingertips. But you saw women coming to the aid and just going at the men who had so much to say. Because women, especially black women, Shakara Champion being a black woman, you cannot critique them on any level. Even if it's positive, even if it has a positive message, they're going to look at any opinion that you have of the situation as a bashing session. And they're going to do everything in their power to quiet or divert or deflect your message to a flaw that has no basis or holds no weight. So what you will see is the men doubling down, reiterating or reinforcing or trying to soften up whatever statement that was offensive. This is simp behavior. If you choose to get in, spaces to where you want to be, vocal about things, opinionated about things, especially regarding black women, you must understand the backlash and the rebuttal that you're going to get. And most of the time, it's going to be a knee-jerk emotional reaction, shaming tactic. It's going to be something to try to quiet you. The moment you try to go back and forth and reinforce or say what you said initially in a different way to soften it up, you're going to be looked at as a simp. This is simp behavior. This is one of 5 ways you'll be looked at as a simp. Restating something in a softer manner. Saying something differently. Women have they have a cunning way of shaming you. They have a cunning way of making you apologize for something that you said, even if it's based in facts. And it's how you say things. They use this how you say things shaming tactic. So what they coerce you to do is pretty much apologize for saying something in a way that they took offensive. And if you restate it in a manner, you basically say something totally different than what you just said. This is their way of shaming you or making you submit to their ego because they don't want to be held to a higher standard. They think they're above reproach. So I already told you guys the time where we went back and forth with women and arguing and that time is gone. That time does not, that we're in a different space. We will not do that because you see what it will get you. It will have you wasting time, energy, and emotion on something that has no weight from their side. They come with no facts, nothing to prove your statement incorrect. They're only going to find a way to quiet you because they feel that they're above reproach. And they also do not look at you as a masculine figure. They don't look at you as a black male authority to them. So your word has no weight. That's why they come out in droves to silence you. They're going to pick apart your grammar. They're going to look at what you said. Oh, he used this as a typo. People know what you mean. They know these phones. They know this. Of course, it can come off to make you look uneducated, make you not look as credible as you may want to come off as. But that's besides the point. We know what is being said without the perfect grammar from this bastard language, which we call English. So they're gonna jump through hoops to try to silence you. They're gonna pick your grammar. You say you stay at home, you do this, you're broke, you this and that. They're gonna do everything in their power to silence you whenever you are in the process of critiquing them. So the moment you go back and forth and try to restate or rephrase something that you said, you initially are apologizing and saying something totally different. Do not get caught up in the back and forth banter with women when you have an opinion. You state your opinion, and if it's a respectable dialogue, meaning we're staying on the topic, then we can have that conversation. But all others, the shaming and the this and the pointing out the errors in grammar, etc., pay that no mind. Them poking at what you saying and saying you're bad, you ignore that. A wise man once said, "I only debate my equals; all others I teach." So we've getting caught up in this culture to where women feel we have to explain ourselves or rephrase statements that they take offense to. We won't do that. We won't do that. It's one of 5 ways you get caught up in simp behavior. The second one is pursuing a woman's validation. You're in the comments and you're being a cheerleader. So if what men will do, they see a man make a statement and they see the woman make the opposing statement, they tend to band with the women to get praise. They get in the comments applauding and co-signing with the women, hoping they're going to get some type of favor, some type of interaction. A lot of you guys do this just to get the interaction from the women that you respect, think highly of, attracted to, etc., etc. You think you're going to get favor, so you end up cheerleading and co-signing. You don't have to co-sign shit a woman says, even if it's right. You don't have to co-sign it. Third, you automatically taking conversations and encounters to a sexual level. It's a given that most men want to have sex with a woman upon first sight, upon first attraction, confirmation. We know pretty much, and they know that we want sex at the deal. But you allude to sex and then you backtrack as if sex is not on the menu. You need to take your time. You're too thirsty. You're too hungry, and you're showing this. Taking the first encounter or the initial encounter straight to a sexual space, that's gonna run her off, and you're gonna kill your chances before you even get in the door. You need to use some finesse. The sexual attraction is there because if it wasn't, you wouldn't have came in the door in the first place. You wouldn't have approached her in the first place. So that's your third. Taking it to a sexual space too quick. Don't be too dick hungry, because you don't know what she has going on. You don't know what she has going on. And the type of women you lay in the bed with, which that's what I'm going to end this with, the type of women you lay down with is who you become. It's who you become. And this is who you give your energy to. Fourth, you're tasting women. The type of women you like translate into you being a simp. Because to the initiated, we know why this is your taste. I can tell you why you like this type of woman. I know why you like this type of woman. A lot of men, we're very simple. We're very simple. Money is green. People like, I like, we like money. And we like women. So your taste in women will ultimately speak to you and speak to your value. We know why you like a certain type of woman. It speaks to your self-esteem and your self-worth, or how you view yourself. We know this. So when you look at these chicks, and when you look at a man and you look at his chick, this is going to tell you the type of man that you're dealing with. Going after the big chicks, the ugly chicks, and all of this, because you know that's an easy score. You look at them as how you look at yourself. That you look at them as low level because you look at yourself as low level and easy to get. So it's the fourth way on how you display simp behavior. The fifth way is giving away your attention and validation when it is not warranted. I see men engaging women in conversations about sex on social media, to which, and you look at the dynamic, you know they're strangers. You know they're strangers. You know they don't have any previous acquaintance. And these guys are having full-fledged conversations with women about sex because this woman is fantasizing about the guy that she can't have anymore, or the guy that she let get away. But you guys are having full-blown conversations about sex with women that you won't have sex with, or it's not a possibility of her having sex with you. So you engage her, giving her your full blown attention and validation when you're not going to get anything in return. You're too giving. You're too available. You're too useful to her. You're too useful to her, and she's not useful to you. That's the fifth way. Those 5 ways will speak to a man's value. If you're displaying any of these behaviors in any fashion, then you must look at yourself as a simp. You need to reevaluate, why are you this way, and what are you getting out of being this way? But the biggest one, the most important one of this all is your taste of women. You see a lot of guys talking about this, man, showing you these women. You see them in the comments, you see them in the likes. Like, this is what you like. This is your speed. If a man, men, we love beautiful women. If a man is not approaching or if they're discussing women at all, if they're not engaging with beautiful women, especially after 30, that man has some self-esteem issues that he needs to address, because your woman is going to be a reflection of you, especially serious relationships. You got men going through hell, disrespect, etc. from low-level women. You have to ask yourself, what type of man would deal with that when he possess all of the value? If he's done all of the work, what type of man will deal with a woman who has done nothing but decrease her value? She's overweight, unruly, attitude. You got to ask yourself, what type of man would deal with such a woman? Your woman is going to be a reflection of you. And beauty is not everything, of course, but presentation is. Presentation is everything. How it's packaged, how it's presented to me will speak to the quality and the value that you see in me. So if your girl is presenting herself in a certain fashion, that's going to speak to how she views you and how she values you. But don't be a simp. We're past that. We're past the arguing, the back and forth, bickering, the rephrasing of statements, the unnecessary, all of that. We're done with that. We're done with that. We're in a new day. We're in a new age. A lot of black women have signed their letter of extinction, which I did in my previous video. You can check that out. Long gone are the times where we be going back and forth with women to justify and validate our opinions and our feelings. We don't get the respect because we don't give the respect to ourselves first. That's where it will begin. That's where it will end. It's the Date Master.